All right, question 2 is from an adult. Her name is Debbie, and she's asking about visual tracking. So let me break this down for you, Debbie, and anybody else. So tracking is an ocular motor skill. So our eye muscles need to be able to track horizontally, vertically, diagonally, from near to far, far to near. And there are two main types of tracking. One is called pursuits, which is a smooth movement. So we're making a smooth movement along the horizon, up and down, whatever. And then the second movement is called a saccade, where we're making a jumping movement. So both of those are important for reading. Some symptoms that occur if you have a tracking problem would be skipping words, losing your place, needing a finger to keep track of what you're reading, being a slow reader, falling asleep when you read, feeling frustrated, not being able to comprehend what you read, difficulty copying from near to far or far to near. So in the scheme of things, tracking is a visual skill, and we can work with the tiny muscles, the eye muscles, and certainly there are eye exercises that can improve tracking. But what I have learned over the years is that if we do an external exercise with tracking, but we fail to bring in our internal awareness about what it feels like or what we need to do to be able to track efficiently, and in the tracking exercise, we get feedback when the tracking is working and when it's not working. If we fail to do any of those things and we just jump into a mechanical exercise, we're not going to make any changes or much change at all. I also like to use the eye patch so that we're working with each eye separately. I also like to bring in movement, so sometimes you have to do some balancing or walking while you're doing a tracking exercise. Sometimes you can use a flashlight with a ball, so you're following a ball and the light has to be on the ball while you're tracking it. But I think you have to remember that with tracking, there's also the connection to the brain. And this pyramid of the brain, primitive reflexes, gross motor, fine motor would be the tracking. Even in adults, I like to do the primitive reflexes because some of those, especially the asymmetrical tonic neck reflex, that reflex, when it becomes more integrated, that's our survival mechanism. When that becomes more integrated, our tracking automatically gets better because the primitive reflex integration releases the brain from its survival perspective and it moves more into the executive function, the frontal brain. So you want to find somebody who can help you plug into doing some of those developmental motor exercises, primitive reflexes, balance. Another connection to tracking is your vestibular health, how well you're able to balance with your eyes closed, having the inner ear be part of your eyes and your proprioception. So there's a lot to it, and I would caution you to just say, oh, I'm just going to do visual tracking exercises. If you fail to bring in these other factors, you're going to get minimal success.